Hey guys, back with another video. I'm really I want to talk about anticipation. I was listening to a podcast the other day and the guy was, he had a really good analogy that I hope helps you understand how powerful anticipation can be, especially when it's for something that you're desiring, right? We all anticipate the negative aspects, right? That's our habit. Right? But when you can use anticipation, it is an extreme life force. It will have you vibrating out of control, right? And he was talking about when he was a kid, his parents would make him him and his brothers go to bed extremely early on Christmas Eve. Well, you're not going to be able to sleep, right? Because you're anticipating opening presents in the morning and what you're going to get. So much so that you can't sleep, even if you're tired, right? And when you can start making this a habit, when you're not feeling motivated or something's not going right, and you can reel it in, get on the anticipation wagon on the good that's going to be coming to you or that is already coming to you, you just start vibrating wonderfully. And it gives you energy to finish any task. There's nothing you can't do when you're full of anticipation on something that you really want, right? In the beginning, I was really focused on stopping the negative beliefs and creating positive images of things and how I wanted my life to be and becoming a different person and all the things that I've been talking about for the last half a year, right? 3/4 of a year. But you start noticing more and more and more as you're going along. You start anticipating good things to start happening to you. And you'll notice in your environment, people starting to think that's weird, right? Because the habit in your environment for so long and the belief has been, we're not smart enough, we're not good enough, we're not tall enough, we're not this enough, we're not that enough, we're not educated enough. Things just don't work out for us. You got to be lucky, right? And so when you're feeling down, you can use anticipation to really motivate you extremely well, right? As you start making this a habit, you can start relying on it. You can start sitting down on the couch at the end of the night and be like, man, I'm kind of getting tired. And then remember, hey, but I still have one action step to do. And start using your anticipation to raise your energy level. I'm telling you, it's a life force. It will help you through any task that you really don't want to be doing at that very moment. Anticipation is wonderful. But I also want to touch on beliefs because I think they go kind of hand in hand because our beliefs, right? I've done videos on this before, but most of our beliefs aren't even our beliefs. They're our beliefs because somebody programmed us with those beliefs, whether it was a parent or an aunt or a coach or a brother or a grandparent, whoever, right? And we've accepted those and made them a belief. And beliefs are so strong that we will defend them till the end of time, even if they're not serving us. And so when you're challenging these beliefs, sometimes you're going to have to use anticipation to get through the doubt and the worry and the fear that are attached to most of these beliefs, right? Because what happens is you have this belief and you're gonna get an emotion attached to that belief, and you've branded that emotion so much so that you will fight it to defend it, right? I hear people all the time, well, I deserve to be upset. I deserve to be mad. This person wronged me. That person did this. This happened. My car broke down. Whatever the scenario is, they'll defend this negativity, even if you can point out to them and make them aware of what's really going on and how to fix it, right? Because we've branded these emotions. These emotions are stacked on top of our belief system. So as you're picking these beliefs apart and you're writing them down and you're looking at them, right? Your body is going to be freaking out. Your mind's going to be saying, this is dumb. Don't do this. Do it tomorrow. Just go watch TV. Whatever it is you normally are doing, right? You can use that anticipation knowing if I can change these beliefs, everything changes. Everything. Health, wealth, love, and happiness, all of it, right? I mean, motivational videos, inspiring videos are cool, but it's like I've said before, 72 hours if you're lucky. If you go to church on Sunday and get a good sermon, by Wednesday, you're full of doubt and fear and anger and resentful and worry and all of it again, right? You didn't change any habits or beliefs, right? You were jazzed up because you were anticipating the truth, what he was saying, but then you didn't stay on point and keep doing that over and over and over the next day and the next day and the next day and the next day. See, if you would record that sermon and watch it every day for 90 days, you would start changing some of your beliefs, right? You want to believe the pastor, or you want to believe the guy on the YouTube, or you want to believe the author of the book, but you haven't had enough repetition to change the beliefs. You haven't wrote them down, looked at them, and tore them apart. All you need to do is find doubt. 1% that this isn't 100% possible, that this isn't 100% truthful. I can start to see where this isn't truthful, right? Then you're on the run. Then you just keep hammering on that thing. But you need to knock the first little bit down so you can start to see, wait a minute, this might only be 99% true, right? The next week, this might only be 82% true, right? And then the next week, 71%, right? And pretty soon, you've removed that belief and replaced it with another belief. The problem is you have to be in the now, the present moment, and intentional when you're changing a negative to a positive, because our program is negative. So if you're trying to change a negative belief, you will automatically put another negative belief in there unless you're intentional. This is vital. You have to understand this. Same thing goes with your habits. If I see it all the time, people are trying to quit doing drugs, so they start drinking. Well, this is legal. Well, it's not healthy and it's not helping you, right? Or with food, or all kinds of things, right? You have to be intentional when you're changing a negative habit or belief. You have to be intentional that it's going to be positive, and you have to hammer on that thing, right? And anticipation, to me, is one of those top 5 things that really can help you through a lot of the lulls that you're going to go through, right? Because your mind is going to be telling you this is dumb. Who cares? Go lay down. Go out, go to dinner. Go watch a movie. Deal with this tomorrow, right? Because your program does not want you to change. Because it's the unknown. It's scary, right? You need to sit. Like I've said it before. When you tell your dog to sit down and they sit down, right? It's because you've told them enough times they understand. They have control of their body enough to sit down and listen. You need to become like that. You need to give your body a command, and even though it's fighting against you, you need to force it to sit down and meditate, or force it to sit down and read, or force it to do whatever it is you're trying to do. Work out, lose weight, eat better, whatever, right? And that's why I don't want you trying to change too many habits, right? I get up in the middle of the night and eat a lot, right? It's like one of my last really bad habits, and I'm going to deal with it this year, but I don't want to try and compound that on top of the other things that I'm already doing, because it gets too much. It gets overwhelming, right? So I just keep letting myself get up and eat, right? I will deal with that when the time comes. And in preparation of getting ready, this is what I do. In preparation of getting to where I'm going to stop doing that and change that habit, I think about, remember when I used to get up and eat, right? I start saying that. Remember when I used to get up and eat? Like it was in the past. Like I no longer do it. Then I found this works amazing. This is from Neville Goddard. And then when I get to wanting to change that habit, feels a lot easier, right? Because you've already kind of primed yourself just by saying, remember when I used to do this? Remember when I was broke? Remember when I used to not have any money? Remember when I used to be lonely? Remember when I used to be angry? Remember when whatever, right? You're priming your subconscious that you no longer want to be doing this, and it will start taking that urge away from you, right? It makes it a lot easier, I feel, from my studying and the habits that I've changed. I've changed so many habits, it's insane. From drugs and drinking and chasing women to you name it. I had no control over myself. And if I can do it, I know you can do it, right? I didn't graduate high school. There's, like, if you want to look at someone and be like, yeah, he's probably not going to be successful, it would have been me. But then I got a little bit of information from some people and understood none of that stuff matters. By the time you're in 7th grade, you know how to read. You don't need to know anymore. You've already been, right? You get to 5th, 6th grade, a little bit older, 10, 11, 12, you know how to add and subtract and multiply. Like that's all earning money is. You don't need to know all of this other stuff, right? I mean, there's specific jobs for sure that you need to know some things, but not to create something that creates money. So I don't want you guys to be focusing on the things you don't want. This is the big trap, right? That's why in the journal, it's specific 5 things to be grateful for every day. And you make that a habit. And if you miss a journal entry, at some point, you're not going to feel right. At some point, you've done it enough. It's a habit. You don't feel right if you didn't do it. And when you get home, you're going to bust it out and do it because you don't feel right. That's why this thing is so powerful, right? You're releasing patterns that are in you. You're forgiving people. That is one of the hugest things in there. Over and over and over and over and over and over. In the beginning, you might just be writing it, not sending any love or energy to it. Eventually you will, and eventually that relationship changes. Or if the person's passed on, a sense of ease comes over you. When you think of them, you don't have a sting in your mind. I'm telling you, if I didn't believe in God, I'd say it was a miracle, but it's not a miracle. It's just the way things happen when you start changing habits and start being persistent in the things that you're doing, right? So anticipation, like he said, the night before Christmas, you can't sleep. You're anticipating opening those presents and you're jacked out of your mind, right? Start using anticipation as your friend. When you're not feeling like it and you've been doing some chores, you had a long day or whatever, or something went wrong and the car broke down or whatever, and you get home and you're not feeling like doing what you should be doing, jump on that anticipation, get vibrating good, and take the action step, right? I mean, it'll get you through, and pretty soon, everything starts to change for you. It's wonderful. So I really want you guys to pay attention. Find out, start looking at anticipation, start kind of we do it every day, all day in the negative, right? We anticipate this isn't going to work out, or, right, something happened and we are anticipating a negative outcome, right? Or, your teacher says you need to stay after class. You're already anticipating something negative, even if you don't know if it is going to be negative yet. That's the programming, right? You start an inner dialogue. Man, what did I do? Wonder what she caught me doing. You start an inner dialogue before you even know what the teacher really wants to talk about. Just another little nugget. I made it a habit, and it's been amazing for me, and I want you to understand this. The only way I found to get rid of fear is to make a habit of walking up to the thing you're afraid of. Most times it just vibrates away. It just moves out of your way. It is amazing, right? If you're afraid to make the call, or you're afraid to tell your parents you're sorry, or you're afraid to tell your parents that you did something that is bugging you and eating you, or your boss, or whoever it is, or your girlfriend, or whatever's going on, if you just walk up to it and face it, I promise you, it most times works itself out, right? You're showing active faith. So just a little something extra there. I really want you guys to start, we talk a lot about taking action and changing beliefs and habits and all of these things I have you doing, but sometimes just not anticipating the negative and making it positive and finding some way to anticipate something good happening, right? Even if in the beginning you're like, hey, normally I wouldn't let this guy in because he's trying to cut, but I'm going to just let him in and anticipate something good will come back to me. But eventually you'll start doing it naturally and things will start coming back to you. So anticipation. Thanks, guys. Yeah, I'm excited. I hope you guys are liking this information. If there's anything I can do better, I'm okay with criticism. It's not, you can't hurt my feelings. Trust me. So if there's something you'd like me to do better, if you'd like me to stand differently or be in a different room or different lighting, or right, I can get all of that equipment if that's what you guys need. So I want to help you to the best of my ability. And if you need me to be sitting or have a headset on so you can hear me better, whatever it is you think would help you, just comment and let me know, right? I'm totally fine with that. So thanks guys, have a great day. Bye.